this lesson, we're taking a look at In Bloom. This is part of my Nirvana series, which you can find a link for in the description. In the first video of the series, I went through Kurt Cobain's playing style and techniques, so well worth checking that video out alongside these song lessons. This is one of my favourite Nirvana tunes. It's got a super explosive riff and a great feel, and he actually manages to use all 12 musical notes just in the intro, so you know, how many songs as popular as this one can you say that about? It's super inventive and super unique sounding. Now the original on the record is just in standard tuning, but when they play it live they used to drop it down a semitone, so make sure you're in tune with whichever version you want to play along with, and with that in mind, let's take a look. So the intro riff comes in two parts. You want a big fat distorted sound, although I've dialed mine back just for clarity while teaching. But for the first riff that you hear, we're going to start with a B flat power chord rooted on the first fret of the A string. Moving to a G power chord on the third fret of the bottom string. Then we're going to be down to an F power chord on the first fret. And ending on an A flat power chord on the fourth fret. So there are your four chords, B flat to G to F to A flat, and the rhythm that we're going to play we've got down, up, down on the B flat, and then probably you're going to catch the muted strings on the up as you change to the G. Now the G, I'm going down, up, down, down, up, down. So put them two together. Down to the F, same rhythm as the B. And A flat is going to be same rhythm as the G until the very end. So it kind of feels like the same rhythm repeated twice. So we've got the B flat to G, then F to A flat. Then we've got this little run at the end. So we'll get to that in a second, but just to clarify this rhythm, I'm going down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. And then the little is first finger playing the root note on the fourth fret of the low E, the A flat. Then hitting the open E, so just take the finger off. Pop the finger back down for fourth fret again. Second finger is going to play the fifth fret. And then we start the riff again from the B flat on the A string. Now you might find it easier to play the B flat rooted on the sixth fret of the low E string, since the hand is around this area. You might find it easier to go and just play that chord there. That would sound absolutely fine. I'm just teaching it on the A string because I've seen footage of Kurt Cobain playing it that way, so just copying the original. So you would play two iterations of that riff. But the second time, just a short, sharp stab on the A flat and then a gap. Then after that short rest, we've got part two of the intro riff. So what we're playing here is the B flat again, and strumming wise we're going down, up, down, up, down. Then there's a little down, up scratch as you change chord, which is going to be to a G flat, so second fret root on the bottom string. So once again, we're just doing that down, up, down rhythm on that chord as well. Same scratchy in between the next chord, and this time we're going to go back to the A string and we're going to strum and slide up to an E flat, rooted on the sixth fret of the A string. Same strumming pattern. Same scratches at the end, and then to finish off this riff, we're going to go down, up on B, so on the second fret. And then down, up on an open A power chord. And then we'd start again from the B flat. So that whole riff. And again. And then mute the guitar as the verse comes in. When the verse comes in, it drops down to just bass and drums, so you can mimic the bass pattern. I've got an octave pedal on to do this, but you could just jam along for fun without the octave pedal, but that would sound like this. Now this is very similar to the riff that we've just played, it's kind of the same chord pattern. So we're starting on that B flat, picking down, up, down, but then just before we move to the G flat, we have one extra pick, and then onto the G flat. So we have, there's no scratches here, you're just leaving a gap in between the chords instead. Then up to the E flat, then pick the E flat again just before moving to the B and then the A. So that whole bass line. So you might want to jam along with that bit if you're just playing on your own. Obviously, if you've got a bass player, just keep your guitar quiet and let them play it. The guitar then joins in partway through the verse, and just to stick with the lower dynamics, it's completely clean, but it's just playing the same riff that we played towards the end of the intro. So the only difference is the final time starts normally, but rather than ending B to A, we're going to go B to D, but we're going to kick on some distortion while we do it. So just to show you how that works in context, the very last run of the verse chords would sound like this. And that builds up to the chorus. The first section of the chorus is fairly simple. We're just moving between a B flat rooted on the first fret of the A string and a G power chord rooted on the third fret of the bottom string. And the strumming pattern is down, 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 up on both chords. We have this 4 times. Then we move into this next section. A little bit more difficult to decipher exactly what's going on with strumming here, but my version of it that I've got sounds like this. So down, 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 up, down on a C chord rooted on the third fret of the A string, and then on the next up strum, strum the chord and slide up to an E flat rooted on the 7th fret. And I'm just finishing it off with up, down, up, kind of just erratic alternate strumming. So you get this. And again. And then we're back to the B flat and G power chords. Then the C and the E flat. Then back into the main riff. And that gives you the chorus. So the only remaining section now is the guitar solo, which is pretty abstract, and it's kind of just a guitar noise kind of solo. There's no real key or anything like that. I was gonna just leave it out and suggest improvising just anything that you wanted, but actually once I got stuck into figuring it out, it just seemed a little bit more doable than I originally thought. So I'm gonna show you a version of it, and even though it might not be exact, that's not really the goal anyway. You're just trying to create some noise and add a little bit of attitude really, so don't worry about being too precise. Just try and get kind of a sort of a grungy and dissonant feel going on. Now effects wise, I've thrown a load of distortion on this for the performance that I did in the demo at the start, as well as a load of chorus and reverb and delay and basically whatever I've got. Just lather it in effects to try and make it sound as edgy as possible. So here we go, we're starting with these kind of crazy bends. So here I've got my second finger playing the 16th fret on the G, third finger is playing 17th fret on the B, and my first finger is just lying down behind them so I can kind of strum the strings but only hear them 2 fretted notes, and I'm just pushing the strings sort of gradually up in pitch, and then strum them at the top and relax the bends. Then we're sliding down, first finger is going to be on 12th fret G, third finger is on 14th fret G, and then same effect. Just pushing them up so the pitch rises a bit. Sounds kind of odd, but kind of cool at the same time. Then we've got something a little bit more sort of familiar for guitar players. It's this little riff. So more like pentatonic licks going on here. So we're sliding into the 11th fret of the D string with first finger. Pick that note again. Third finger plays the 13th fret on the D. Back to 11th fret. Back to 13th fret, but this time we're going to pull the string down to pitch bend it. Relax the bend and pick the natural note. Now move down to the A string and pick 11th fret, 13th fret, and then 11, 13 on D. So far we've gone. And then to finish it off, more stuff on the D string. So we're starting with the bend with the third finger, pulling the string down. Pick the natural note, first finger on 11, back to 13, and then first finger, pick the 13th fret, then pick and bend and relax the bend, and then first finger, third finger. So a little bit odd, but that gives you okay, and then we've got more bizarre bends. If you remember the first one, we started on 16th fret and 17th fret on the G and B. We're just going to take that exact thing but move it up one fret. So we're now 17th fret with middle finger and 18th fret with little finger. Same again, you can use the first finger to mute and then strum and then pitch bend. So then for the final section we have this. So for this part, we're starting on the 10th fret of the G string, up to 12th fret and back to 10th fret. Now pick the 12th fret and slide up to 13. Pick 12 again, pick 13 and slide up to 15. So then 13 to 15 on G, bend the 15th fret. Then pick it and bend it even further, so you get this kind of. Let that ring out for a while, then use the little finger to come in and grab the 16th fret on the B string, pick them both together. So. And then to finish off, we're jumping down to first finger, playing the 11th fret on the D string. Second finger is going to play the 12th fret on the G, so you get this little diminished shape. And you're just bouncing between those two notes. Then we've got this descending thing at the end. So I'm going to pick both notes together, slide down one fret, pick and slide down. And I'm just picking and sliding down one fret each time until landing back in that chorus. So. Again, doesn't have to be exact, just kind of do whatever you want with it. So that ending. So yeah, one of the world's most bizarre solos, but hopefully that gets you started with it. Hope you've enjoyed taking a look at this tune. As I mentioned, one of my favourite Nirvana tracks. Really great if you're able to crank up the volume and enjoy playing along. Remember, you can access the full Nirvana playlist via the link in the description. Be sure to subscribe for more content, and I'd really appreciate you giving this video a like if you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next lesson.